What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the stream. You're gonna have to forgive me. I am super tired. I am completely exhausted. I didn't really sleep much last night. That was my own fault. I didn't work yesterday, but I stayed up way too late, having some dad me time, basically. I played video games until about 1 in the morning, and then my daughter woke up early, of course, so I'm kind of dragging ass today, so I'm gonna need your support. I'm gonna need your upbeat attitude. I'm gonna need some fun questions. I'm gonna need some engagement. All right? Is that okay? I appreciate it in advance. Welcome everybody. I uploaded a video a couple days ago, which was a lot of fun. I haven't done a stream since then. But if you haven't watched it, it was a really fun one. It was actually my first video that I've made in 3 months. Which is probably the longest this channel's ever had a little video break. That's just because my daughter was in school, or on summer break, and now she's back in school, so I'm going to start making videos again and doing some streams. So yeah, some fun stuff to look forward to. But that video that I made and uploaded like 3 days ago, it's one that I've been wanting to make for a while, just kind of a nostalgia trip, you know. I don't know if any of you guys watched it, but it's one that's kind of near and dear to my heart. A video that's near and dear to my heart. I just kind of, you know, talk about what it was like being a Star Wars fan in the 90s. So check it out if you already haven't. But welcome, guys. 80s kid from the 90s, TF from Kingston, speaker to animals, Dominic Martin Rivera, Stuart, good to see you, man. Arlen, good to see you as well. Catherine, good to see you. Dark Tony, Fet Man Plays, good to see everybody. What's up, Brandon? Good to see you, man. What's up, Greedo SoCal? Getting some heavy rain right now. There was right before I hopped on the stream, I opened up Twitter and I saw somebody posting about an earthquake. What's the details on that? I know I could Google it, but I'm going to keep an eye on the chat tonight. Who sends a kid back to school in August? When do you guys start school back? Stuart, how does your school schedule work? Yeah, most of the time, kids go back to school in August and they get off for summer break in May. So from May to August is basically summer break. What's it like over there? So, yeah, that's really why you guys haven't seen much of me lately. Is because, you know, my daughter's on she was on summer break, and, you know, my typical video making schedule is like, if I'm not, I work every third day, and if I'm not at work, I'm making videos. But, you know, she's on summer break, I'm not going to make videos while she's here. I'm going to play, you know. But summer starts late June, though. Okay, so it's basically the same amount of time. It's just different start and end dates. All right. I don't even remember, dude. Next year is going to be my 20th high school graduation anniversary. I don't even remember. It was all such a blur. I barely remember the schedule or the time, you know, when you were in or when you were off for summer break. I barely remember any of that. Flame Knight. Hey, Greedo, what movie are you currently watching right now? And then it drops off. I don't know. What is the last movie that I watched? The last movie that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem in the movie theater with my daughter, my wife, and my mom. Dude, that is a fun-ass movie. I highly recommend it. Oh, one sec.
Lately, I'm intrigued for the discourse of SW 10 to 15 years from now, when folks that are kids now report back watching Ashoka the Acolyte, Andor, and Dawn of the Jedi growing up.
Benjamin B, thank you so much for the first super chat and channel support of this, what is it, Sunday night stream. I appreciate it, Ben. Give me one sec. Yeah. So the last movie that we went to the theater to see was the new Ninja Turtle movie, and dude, it is so good. You know, even if you don't have kids, go watch it. It is funny. It's fun. It's kind of one of those movies that has like hidden adult humor in it. It's just a fun, goofy, weird, action-packed, good time. It's one of the better movies that I've seen in a long time, man. I absolutely loved it. It's funny, I heard, there's a post-credit scene? Oh, shit, I didn't know that. That's a bummer. I would have stuck around. Yeah, but I highly recommend it. It was great. It's funny, I heard people, because some of the characters say, like, damn and hell and kill and things like that, and, you know, it's a PG movie, so I saw some people, like, complaining that it wasn't appropriate for their kids, and I'm sitting back, my kid's 5 years old, and whatever. Like, dude, when I was growing up, the one of the funniest things to me is, all right, so Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem is rated PG. Do you know what else is rated PG? Jaws. Yeah, Jaws is rated PG. So, like, when I was growing up, movies that were coming out or already out, or were getting ratings because there was no rating system in the past, had, like, super low ratings, like PG. I mean, PG was... Jaws came out, I believe, before PG-13 came out. The PG-13 was a rating, I think. But it's just funny to me, like, how pulled back some parents are when it comes to, like, their kids seeing stuff or hearing stuff compared to what it was like when I was growing up. Like, I saw Alien when I was probably like 6 or 7 or 8 years old. Watched an alien burst out of a man's chest when I was a wee child. Like, it's okay. It's all right. The kids are going to be okay. Benjamin B, thanks for the patience, man. Ben says, been staying late playing Baldur's Gate 3 lately. I'm intrigued for the discourse of Star Wars 10 to 15 years from now, when folks that are kids now report back watching Ahsoka, the Acolyte, Andor, and Dawn of the Jedi growing up. So you mentioned Baldur's Gate 3. I haven't played it. Like, all of my friends are playing it right now. I've heard nothing but good things. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if my my computer could run it. Unfortunately, I don't really have time to devote to like an an RPG like that. I would love to be able to play with all my buddies that are playing it right now. But I think for me, it's going to have to wait for those two reasons. Maybe my PC can't handle it, and I just don't have time to devote to it. The only thing that I'm playing these days is New World, which is an MMO that came out, like 3 years ago or something like that. It's the Amazon MMO, and it's just like I'm level 50. The max level is 60, and I've basically just gone through the main story and some side quests. But it's like the perfect, you know, it's 10 o'clock. My wife and my daughter are asleep. I'm just gonna stay up until another couple hours and listen to a podcast or watch a video on my other monitor while I, you know, go through the monotony of grinding in an MMORPG, you know. So that's about the extent of my video gaming these days. But yeah, I am curious too, as well, Ben. Oh, you work on New World? No kidding, really? I've been playing that for a couple months now. Get out of town, man. What do you do on it? I'm gonna keep an eye on the chat. What do you do on the game? I'm a big fan of it. You know, a lot of times games or MMOs don't really hold my attention for that long, especially when I'm playing solo. I've been playing it basically solo, really solo since I started. Like, none of my friends still play it, and I was a latecomer to it. But yeah, I've really enjoyed my time in it, and it's really polished, and yeah, I'm a fan of it. I haven't even done any PvP or anything like that. I haven't done any major world events. I've basically just gone grinding through the story and the side quests, and just kind of, yeah, it's fun. Faction mount designer. No kidding. I joined the Marauders. I don't know why. I read the descriptions of all of them, and I was like, that's kind of me. That fits me a little more than the other ones. That's really cool, man.
What's up? What's new?
Oh, one sec.
The menu is the best. I watched it twice in a row, then once again. I love it. It's hilarious. It's the best. Having a Guinness with my Greedo stream.
Hell yeah, Vince. Good to see you, man. Oscar and Vince, I appreciate the super chats there. You're having a Guinness, and I am having a Wicked Weed Coastal Love Hazy IPA. It's pretty tasty. But yeah, give me one sec, guys. Give me one sec. Yeah, Ben, it'll be interesting. Like, the Star Wars discourse is always changing. It's never static. It's never static. You know, I mean, I've talked about this ad nauseum over the past decade plus on this channel. But yeah, the prequels, when I first started this channel, you couldn't find a positive comment in my comment section about those prequels. And granted, you know, I was hard on them as well, so people were searching for people like me talking about the prequels negatively. So I'm sure the comments were skewed in a way relative to the overall opinions of them at the time, especially from younger folks. But nowadays, those movies are beloved, and the whole reason is because, you know, the kids who grew up with them and loved those movies, and they were their Star Wars. You know, they grew up and had a voice on the internet 10, 15 years after they came out, and now they're defending what they love. And there's no question in my mind that that will be the case 10 to 15 years from now. No question in my mind. That's just how it goes, man. That's the ebb and flow of the fandom. And it'll be really interesting to, like, 10 to 15 years from now, see videos on the internet from people who were like 5 years old when The Force Awakens came out, right? And now they're making videos on the internet and talking about all the Andor theories and the Acolyte theories, and maybe they changed some stuff. Who knows? Who knows, man? It'll be interesting, but there's no question in my mind that Star Wars discourse will never be static. It will never be static. It is always evolving and changing because the audience is always evolving and changing, right? Yeah, anyway, I appreciate that, man. And yeah, if you got any fun tidbits about New World or things that I should know. I write quests, wrote the story for Windsword and the level 40 legendary weapons quest. Get out of here, man. That is too cool. I didn't know you were in that. Wow. Well, now I feel bad for sometimes skipping through cutscenes and NPC dialogue and stuff like that. I guess I probably do that too often. I apologize, man. But when it's 11 o'clock at night and I just want to see what level I can get to before it's midnight, you know, I gotta keep moving. But anyway, I appreciate that, man. It's too cool. Oscar, Vince, and Evans, thank you guys so much for the channel supports as well. Oscar says, I feel good that I finished draft 1 of my Stan Marsh Into the Wild style short story. Ooh, Into the Wild. Now on to draft 2. It'll be the first of 6 or 7 stories. Nice. Into the Wild. That's a good. I like that. Is that the movie that, or the book rather, that you had in mind when you started writing this? Draft 2, it'll be the first of 6 or 7 stories. Oscar, I'm tagged you in a video, Silent Park. Okay, nice. I'll check that out. Silent Park. Oscar, I'm just curious, what I'll keep an eye on the chat. What made you like fall in love with this character? What made Stan stand out to you so much that you started writing fan fiction about Stan Marsh? Like, what was it about him in particular? I'm sure you love South Park as a whole, but what was it about him that kind of drew you to the character and wanted you to create beyond the show, you know? I'm curious. Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for that tag. But I appreciate that, man. It's good. First draft. Feels good. And then I feel like after a first draft, and when you... I'm not one to like... usually I just... Even in the past when I had school assignments or whatever, I would never do multiple drafts. I would just write one. What I wrote was what I wrote, you know. Even if I mean, occasionally I'd go back and change some stuff here and there, but like, I guess you could consider that a draft, but it wasn't like, all right, this is first draft, and the second draft, I'm really going to pick it apart. No, I just wrote. But anyway, I appreciate that, Oscar. I'm going to keep an eye on the chat, all right? Vince, thank you so much. Vince says, what's up, what's new? The menu is the best. I watched it twice in a row, then once again, I loved it. It's hilarious. It's the best. Having a Guinness with my Greedo stream. Cheers. Well, cheers right back at you, man. I'm having a little brew as well. Yeah, the menu is great. We watched it once, I don't know how long ago, probably half a year ago now. Maybe longer than that. I'm not sure. But yeah, it's funny and in a very dark way, and it's what the character, what's his name? Oh shit. His real name, Nicholas Hoult. I like that guy a lot. He's a great actor. He's got a fun personality when he acts as well. No matter what he's in. He's like always like upbeat, and he's got a good way of putting on like the cheery personality. I don't know. I like him a lot in there's a show called The Great. And I think you would like The Great, Vince, if you haven't already watched it. It has Elle Fanning in it and Nicholas Hoult. And it's about Catherine the Great, but it's a comedy. It's a comedy, and it's really weird and out there and funny and fun, and the characters are great. And I don't know how much is true. The tagline of the show is like an occasionally true story. But yeah, if you want to see more of him, I highly recommend watching The Great. It is fantastic. But yeah, I've only seen the menu once. Probably watch it again at some point. But yeah, not much is new. We just working a lot. My wife's working a lot. You know, my daughter is now back in school off of summer break, so I got time to make videos and stuff like that now. But what else is new? We're doing some home improvement projects. We had and then we planned on doing a lot more home improvement projects, but then our refrigerator broke and our washer broke. So we're trying to figure that shit out right now. So I've been taking my laundry, my personal laundry, to the fire station and washing all of our laundry at the fire station, which is nice to have that option, so I don't have to go to like a laundromat or something like that, or my neighbor's house, right? I'm just taking a big basket of laundry to the fire station every third day. But yeah, so life problems. That's it. I know that's super exciting for everyone to hear, but that's basically the extent of what's new. But anyway, Vince, what's new with you, man? Yeah, with the hose. I just throw it all in the bay and and just blast it. Yeah. Evans Media, Oscar, John, and Mimi, thank you guys so much. Evan says, loved your latest video and it inspired me to make my own video like that about The Force Awakens on my own channel, even gave you a little cameo. Oh, no kidding. That's cool, man. Did you already make it? Yeah, it's funny, Evan. When I uploaded that video, a lot of people in the chat, Evans Media, a lot of people in the chat were, Evans Media, oh, this is not your channel. I'll find it. But yeah, a lot of people in the comment section of that video were like, do a video about how it was to be a Star Wars fan in the 2000s or the 2010s and stuff like that. And then in my head, I'm like, yeah, that would be cool, but that's not for me. Like, in the year 2000, I turned 14. So, you know, really the bread and butter of my nostalgia and childhood fandom and that just twilight era of being a fan of something was in the 90s. And that's why I made that video. I could not make a video. I mean, I probably could make a similar video when it comes to the build-up of The Force Awakens in that era of Star Wars and that area of excitement and nostalgia. Because I could throw in what it was like to have a channel in those early days of YouTube and you know, all of a sudden new Star Wars is coming out. I could make a fun video about that. But yeah, I definitely couldn't do the 2000s, I don't think. Because, you know, I was graduating from high school and I was going to college and I joined the military and, like, my head wasn't all about Star Wars. Not like it was when I was a kid in the 90s, you know? Fire station. Oh, no. We don't let... I'm a firefighter, speaker to animals. I don't just take it up to a fire station because they allow that. I'm a firefighter. So I do it at my firehouse. No, you can't walk up and wash your laundry at a fire station like you can to get your blood pressure checked. No, we wouldn't allow that. I do it because I work there. But nice, Evans. I will... I'm gonna keep this up on my Google search and I will hunt for that video. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Hell yeah. Good deal, man. John, thank you so much for the super chat and channel support. John says, hey Greedo, hope the family is doing well. Saw Barbenheimer day 1. I got to the cinema at 2, left at 8, and saw Pulp Fiction and Taxi Driver for the first time. Nice, man. Yeah, I have not seen Barbie yet. I did see Oppenheimer. Loved it. We saw it in the IMAX theater. And yeah, I want to see Barbie. I don't know when. We're probably gonna have to wait until it comes out streaming, and we're definitely gonna have to wait. We have to find a baby. It's a anybody out there with kids, younger kids. Our daughter's 5. To go out and see a grown-up movie, it's a whole ordeal. You got to find a babysitter, which my parents are always willing, but they watch my daughter enough as it is. I don't want to bother them and be like, hey, can you watch her for 3 or 4 hours while we go see a movie? I know you watched her all day yesterday, but can you do that? They would not complain. They would do it in a heartbeat, but it's a lot to ask, But, yeah, I loved Oppenheimer. We'll watch Barbie when it comes out streaming. Pulp Fiction's great. I have not seen it in probably over a decade. But there was a time in my life, like when I was, I'm going to say like 18 or 19, where I watched Pulp Fiction constantly, along with like A Clockwork Orange. Yeah, there was a period where I was just obsessed with a couple movies, and that was one of them. And I don't think I don't think I've ever seen Taxi Driver. I don't think I've ever sat down and watched it from... Oh, wait. I take that back. I have seen it. Because my wife found out I had never seen it. And this was probably like 5 years ago or so. She found out that I had never seen it, and we sat down and watched it. But I barely have any memories of it, to tell you the truth. I don't know why. But that's always fun, man. Long day at the movie theater. I haven't done a back-to-back movie in a very long time. I used to go, I would visit my aunt in Ohio, and we would go and see, not just 2, we would go and see like 3 or 4 movies in a day. We would just basically stay at the movie theater all day. But that was when I was a kid. That was when I in the 90s. And I don't... Yeah, that's the last time I've done anything like that. But that's a good time, man. But I appreciate that, John. And Mimi, thank you so much for the channel support as well. Mimi says, get a chance to see Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I really enjoyed it. I don't know a lot about Ahsoka, so I don't have expectations going in. No, I haven't. That's one that I'm going to have to wait to watch on streaming too. It's not because I don't want to see it that I haven't seen it. Again, it's just kind of like we really have to pick and choose what we want to see, because again, it's a whole thing to go see a grown-up movie with a kid, No, I didn't say Alexa. I said, Alexa just chimed in, thought I said Alexa. I'm not talking to you. Yeah, I definitely want to see it. I'll see it when it comes out on streaming. I've heard good things about it. I haven't really seen a lot of like negative things about the movie, and that's just probably because I don't pay attention to a lot of it, But the people like Chris Stuckman, I did watch his like non-spoiler review of it. It looks fun. I'm excited to see it when it does come out. But yeah, so you don't know a lot about Ahsoka, so you said you don't have expectations going in. That's fine. That's fine. You don't need to know a lot. I hope you don't need. I hope anybody can go into this even without any prior knowledge of the character and still have fun with it. That's what it should be all about. But yeah, she's a great character. You could probably... who mentioned it last stream? Somebody mentioned that there's like lists out there of like essential Ahsoka episodes of Rebels and the Clone Wars and and stuff like that. So if you wanted to get a feel for the character, you could watch a couple episodes of something and kind of follow a shortened journey of her story, just so you have a baseline knowledge of the character, her attitude, where she came from, how she acted when she was younger relative to how she's going to act in the show. You don't have to do that, of course, but it might be kind of fun to experience it, you know. But yeah, I hope it's good. I'm excited for it. The Ahsoka novel was fun too. I enjoyed that a lot. But yeah, anyway, I appreciate that, Mimi. Cheers. John, is your daughter excited for the new Trolls movie if she has seen the trailer? Oh, we've seen the trailer a lot. It played before Ninja Turtles. It played before Elemental. I think it even played before Super Mario. And she hasn't really shown any interest in it, honestly. And the trailer is like, I was sitting there watching it. I was sitting next to my mom when we all went and saw Ninja Turtles. And my mom just started like laughing. She looks at me and was like, what the hell is going on? I was like, I don't know. Like, with the Trolls trailer, we were like, what the hell is going on? Now, I'm sure we'll end up seeing it in the movie theater. We like taking her to movies. She likes going just for the candy and popcorn. She's not really one to sit down for a long time, man. If I try to get her to watch a movie at home, it lasts like 5 minutes and then she's just bouncing off the walls. She is the most active kid I have ever seen. Like, if she's watching a show, she's not just sitting down and watching a show. She's jumping from couch to couch. She's doing backflips off the couch. She's rolling all around, and like she'll stop for 3 seconds, watch the show, and then she's back to jumping off the couch and jumping off the arm of the couch and like just jumping off the coffee table. Like, she does not stop. It's exhausting. Just watching her do it. So it's great that she doesn't do that in the movie theater. But yeah, we don't watch many movies just for that reason. She doesn't get tired, Tony. It's the craziest shit. It's the craziest shit. She does not get tired. When she gets tired, it's like right now, 8:34 p.m. My wife's in her bedroom right now. They're probably finishing reading her final book, and then she's probably starting to get tired, hopefully. During the day, no way. Not a chance. Not a chance. I'll take her to the pool for like 3 hours. We'll go to the beach. And then we get home and she's just jumping off the couch, sliding on her like gym mat down the stairs, like just non-stop. But yeah. What's up, Henry? Yeah, John. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem was a blast. Was a blast. Oh yeah, Tony, like, she napped her first like year and a half or so and then never napped again. She has not taken a nap in, I don't know, 3.5 years. And you're right. Like, I could lay down and take a nap whenever I want. And yesterday, I got like 2 hours of sleep at work the night before. And so I came home and I was dragging ass. And around noon, I just sat on the couch. We were smoking a big pork butt in the smoker. And I just sat on the couch and I fell asleep for like 45 minutes. I woke up, I was like, oh shit. I can crash whenever. I probably fell asleep for 5 minutes today, didn't even realize it. Oh yeah, the Amazon link for the book doesn't work. They actually took it off recently of Amazon, the print version, for copyright infringement. I don't know. I didn't really look into it. I'm assuming it's because the cover has a Stormtrooper helmet on it. There's nothing in the book itself that is like would get pulled for copyright. You know, it's just me and my story and some stupid shit like that. So I need to figure that out and re-upload it. But it is still available on the Kindle. So if you are on Amazon and you search for HelloGreedo on there, there is a Kindle option to buy it if you have that. But my favorite scene from all of Star Wars, golly. So when I think of Star Wars, like the first image that pops into my head is Luke staring out at the twin suns. Another like little sequence, a little scene that pops into my head is when Han is chasing the stormtroopers down the hallway of the Death Star, and he's yelling, and the stormtroopers are running away, and the music is, it's just those two scenes are like essential Star Wars moments for me, you know. Like when I think of Star Wars, those two little moments pop into my head instantly. Those are the first things that pop into my head. Take it easy, Vince. I cook shit now. Put some garlic cloves in a thing with olive oil. Put it in the oven for a while. Oh yeah, hell yeah. Sourdough toast with tomatoes. Fucking beautiful. There you go. You ever made a caprese salad? It doesn't have garlic on it, but I think you would like it as well. It's simpler than that. You don't have to cook shit, but garlic makes everything better. Yeah, Leonardo. Nardo. That's such a fun movie, man. Flame Knight says, here's my thoughts on all Star Wars trilogies. Prequels are fine. Original is good. Sequels are amazing. Hey, man, you like what you like, right? I'm sure if you put that in a lot of other chats, you would get berated, right? But we're always, around these parts, we're a very to each his own kind of mentality. But, yeah. For me, I don't think, maybe this is cynical to say, but it's all based on nostalgia and love for what I grew up with, you know. The originals I don't think will ever be beat in my mind, at least, you know. For me.
Feels alone, detached from his family, can't stand his dad, relies on friends. Seemed like he'd grow up to walk away.
Oscar Rodriguez, I love it. Oscar says, Stan seemed, I asked him earlier why he had such an affinity for this character, Stan Marsh from South Park. And he says, Stan seemed like the perfect character for that story as a kid. He's rebellious, feels alone, detached from his family, can't stand his dad, relies on friends. Seemed like he'd grow up to walk away. That is a great little... I'm sure you probably have put way more thought into the character of Stan Marsh than a lot of other people have. You know, the South Park character. Most people probably think it's just skin deep, and then Oscar here is really analyzing this South Park character and getting into the weeds with this character and writing a story about this character. I love it, man. That's really cool. It's always funny, like, to me, what we latch onto, character-wise, story-wise, whatever it is, you know. And sometimes something like that just hits you, you know. And you see the potential... in your instance, to write a story about him, and maybe you relate to the character, you know, in your own personal life. That's really cool. I've never really given it that much thought, man. I haven't watched an episode of South Park in a very long time, but I used to watch them all the time. I remember the first time I ever saw the very first episode of South Park. I was spending the night at my buddy Alex's house. it would have been, when did the show start? 1996. South Park first episode. Let's see. 97. Okay. So the first episode of South Park was 97. So I would have been 11 years old. And I was spending the night at my buddy Alex's house. And we watched South Park. And I never would have imagined all these years later still going strong. It's crazy. It's crazy to think about. I remember kids shortly after that wearing like you killed Kenny shirts and all that stuff. It was huge. It was huge. Yeah, it was huge. But yeah, anyway, I appreciate that, man. I like that. And George Heilman, thank you so much for the super chat channel support. George says there's a showing of Empire here in Melbourne with a live orchestra in October. Should get tickets before they sell out. Absolutely, do it, man. It's all I saw Empire with the Jacksonville Symphony Orchestra years ago. Shit, that was probably like 6 or 7 years ago now. But yeah, it's like if you've never seen it like that, it's kind of a must. It's one of those movies that you've seen a million times, but you can focus on a different aspect of it. Like, the music, the music in and out, right? But it hits different watching an orchestra, a symphony play it, and right in front of you, and you can kind of focus on that almost more than the movie itself, if that makes sense. But yeah, you go ahead and buy them tonight. It's been we used to go to like a symphony movie, I feel like once a year. We've seen Home Alone with the Jacksonville Symphony, Empire, Raiders of the Lost Ark. God, I feel like there was another one in there somewhere. Oh, you saw A New Hope. Nice. That's the one that I would want to see for sure. I feel like I've seen another one though. Empire, Home Alone, Raiders. Golly, I feel like there was another one. Drawing a blank, or maybe there wasn't one. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, George. Get it. Buy it. See it. It's a good time. Oh, that's fun. Carrie Elwes showed up. Oh, that's really cool, George. What's he up to these days? I haven't seen him in anything in a long time. Let me do a quick Google real quick. He was in... Oh, yeah, he was in Saw. I forgot he was in Saw. What's he in recently? Anything recent? I'm sure he is, but stuff I haven't seen. Oh, he was in Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning? I didn't see that. He's been in a lot of stuff that I've never heard of. He was in Marvelous Mrs. Maisel? What? I don't remember him in that. He was in Stranger Things? Really? Carrie Elwes, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. God, I don't remember him in this at all. Wow. Interesting. Oscar Rodriguez, thank you so much for the super chat channel support once again, man. Oscar says I merged him with Chris McCandless. Is that how you pronounce that? That's the guy who Into the Wild was based off of. I like it. I like it, man. I like it. That's one of those movies that for a short period of time I watched a lot. I've never read the book. But yeah, I remember I've seen that movie so many times. I mean, like, yeah, probably like, when did that movie come out? Let's see. Into the Wild movie, 2007. Okay, I was gonna say like 15 years ago, so I guess, yeah, around then. Yeah, I watched that quite a bit. Quite a bit. What's up, JJ? Oh, nice, Daniel. Best of luck, man. I use these to wind down as well. I just kick back, shoot the shit on the microphone, talk about some fun stuff for an hour. It's a good it's a nice wind down period for me as well, man. High school teacher, oh my goodness. Oh, the shit that I used to do with my buddies. I apologize to you as a high school teacher for all the shitheads that you got to deal with. Flame Knight, I think the only Pirates movie I've ever seen is the first one, to tell you the truth. I mean, maybe I've seen the other ones, but I really don't have much of a memory of them. Rank all Star Wars trilogies. Who said that? I gotta scroll up. Unknown Cars Fan 95. My favorite trilogy is the original trilogy. It's just what I grew up with, you know. It's all that I knew growing up in the 90s. It's all that there was. So that, to me, I don't know if that'll ever be topped by any Star Wars movie or trilogy. And a lot of that is based on nostalgia. And that's, you know, nostalgia is hard to shake. But then I would probably have to say I like the sequel trilogy. It edges out a little more than... I'm not a fan of The Rise of Skywalker. That's one of my least favorite Star Wars movies. But I like The Force Awakens and I like The Last Jedi. And those two movies, for me, are better than the prequel movies. The Phantom Menace, I have a really deep sweet spot for. I like that movie. It goes beyond the movie, though. It's, you know, it came out in '99. I was 13 years old. The build up, the hype, the anticipation for that movie was insane. I don't care for Attack of the Clones, Revenge of the Sith. Kind of for the same reason as The Phantom Menace. Like, I had a really good time seeing that movie. I went with some friends. I dressed up as Greedo. My buddy dressed up as Han. We made homemade blasters out of plumbing parts. and we went to the midnight premiere of Revenge of the Sith, and so I have a sweet spot for that one as well. But yeah, I think my enjoyment of The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, I enjoy those movies than any of the prequel movies. So yeah. No, I don't collect Funko Pops. I don't get into that stuff. I don't really collect anything, man. I don't really have like a burning desire to buy anything either, you know. Really the only thing that I would say that I collect are maybe t-shirts from national parks and stuff like that I've been to, and coffee mugs and pint glasses, I guess, from places that I've been to as well. But no, I'm not much of a collector. I don't really buy much shit like that, you know. Nice, Fat Man. Yeah, I enjoyed it. The director of that actually sent me a copy, autographed it, Blu-ray. It's a great little Star Wars documentary that is unlike any Star Wars documentary that you've ever seen, because it's small scale, you know. It's not like, you know, in 1977, Star Wars changed the world. It's more, you know, interviews from... Yeah, I mean, you know what it is. You bought it. But yeah, everybody should watch Elstree 1976. It's a Star Wars documentary that's about basically like what you would consider background characters and the actors that played them. And yeah, it's great. Yeah. Oscar, what Star Wars movies do you own? I own the original trilogy. I own the prequel trilogy. I owned the sequel trilogy minus The Rise of Skywalker. So I own all of the trilogy movies, but not The Rise of Skywalker. I own Rogue One in 4K. I own a digital copy of Solo. Yeah. Yeah. So I guess I own them all except for The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah, I saw The Force Awakens in IMAX. I saw The Force Awakens 5 times in the theater. I saw it opening night at just a regular like Cinemark theater. Saw it with a buddy of mine, and then when the movie was finished, I would never do this these days, but this was 2015. But we went and saw the movie. The movie got out at like, I don't even know, 11 o'clock at night. I drove home, me and my buddy drove to my house, and I was like, I'm going to make a video. I made a video, and all the while, the plan was after the movie and after I make this video, we were going to drive 6 hours north to a cabin that me and my buddies had rented. We try to do this every year, rent a cabin. All my old high school friends, we get together. We've been doing it for like 20 damn years. And this cabin trip just happened to land on the day The Force Awakens was coming out. So I was like, yeah, I'll get up there, but it's going to be late. So we saw Force Awakens, and then we got in the car, I don't know what time, but we pulled into the cabin as the sun was coming up. And then, yeah. I would never do that these days. But, yeah, so I saw it then. I saw it again when we were in the cabin. We found a little hole-in-the-wall theater in the North Georgia mountains. And we saw it there with those guys. And then I saw it again when I came home with my parents at the IMAX theater. I saw it again with my buddy and his dad at a really cool independent theater downtown Jacksonville called Sunray. And then I saw it again with another one of my buddies. So saw it 5 times. What did we do on the cabin trip? We usually, like I said, we've been doing this cabin trip for, I mean, I think what the first one was like in 2007 or so. So, and it's all friends that I've known since, there's 7 of us, and it's all friends that I've known since I was in high school. They were my best friends in high school, all through high school. We all keep in touch, and every year we try to get a cabin up in North Georgia. We've sometimes, instead of doing a cabin, we'll like, one of us is getting married, so we'll do a bachelor party instead of a cabin. So we've gone to like New York, we've gone to like outside of Minnesota and like a compound that one of my buddy's family owns. So, but typically when we do the cabin trip, we usually try to do a thing. We've gone whitewater rafting. We've rented a house with a pool. We've rented a boat before. We usually get up there for 3 or 4 days. We do that, and we drink a lot of beer, and we just shoot the shit, play drinking games, listen to music, hang out, and catch up. It's a good time. This year rather, we went to Asheville, and we got a nice Airbnb in Asheville, and we spent a day at the breweries walking around, and then we, hung out in the hot tub and just drank and shot the shit. It's just a good way to keep in touch, Yeah. You've always given off more West Coast mountain terrain, Southwest even kind of vibes to me than I remember you're in Florida. Well, most of my family is from all of my family basically is from Ohio and Michigan. It's funny. Last time I worked, one of the guys I worked with said that he heard my like Midwest accent come out, and I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "Yeah, I hear it all the time." I'm like, "Really?" Because I don't hear it. Because the other day when we had a structure fire, and I get notifications on my watch before we even get dispatched. So like I know when there's a fire in our district or that we're going to go to from a notification on my watch before they even tone us out on the computer on our radios. So I looked down and I was like, that's a structure fire. And everybody looks at me, and he was like, "Oh, I heard it come out when you said structure fire." And I was like, "What?" I don't know. It's weird. I don't hear it. I guess sometimes when I say like dad or I don't know. It's weird. There you go, Cleveland. Most of my family's from like, where Portsmouth is, or Canal Winchester. Kind of outside Columbus. Take it easy, George. Good to see you, man. Yeah, what's up, Saint? Morris, are you from Jacksonville? Saint says, with the World Golf Hall of Fame closing, I'm really hoping they don't shut down the IMAX there. I've seen every new Star Wars there on opening night. They are shutting it down. But there's... Sunray Cinema, downtown Jacksonville? They mentioned wanting to, like, take it over. I don't know how serious that was, but yeah, that area has always been kind of a dud, I'm assuming you're familiar with it since you're bringing it up, but like there's so many buildings in that big donut around that lake, There's so many opportunities for restaurants and shops and stuff like that, but it's always just been dead and empty. You got Caddyshack and you got the IMAX. That's really the only reason anybody goes there, and it's even with that, it's just always dead. So it was only a matter of time, right? But yeah, I don't know why Sunray would want to take it over. It's a horrible. I mean, it's a really great locate. So the IMAX is in a great location when it comes to. I mean, look, those World Golf Village, the houses they're incredible. They're $1 million homes, whatever, and the area is starting to boom. They just put like a Buc-ee's in off that exit. There's all sorts of stuff going in around there, but the IMAX is like tucked. You have to drive 10 minutes into the neighborhood, go around a big donut lake, go to the IMAX. Like, it feels like nobody wants to bother going there. You know, I mean, has been a ghost town for a long time there, but the IMAX is great. I live in St. Augustine. Changed my YouTube name. I'm usually Guido. Oh, nice. Yeah, there you go. I live in St. Augustine as well. Small world, man. Small world. But, yeah. The IMAX is great. It's to tell you the truth, though, like, I would almost rather go to. Are you familiar with that new theater they just opened in Durban, kind of off Racetrack Road, like near Julian Creek? They opened it a few years ago. I would rather see a movie there than the IMAX theater, to tell you the truth. It's more modern, seats are more comfortable. Better, I feel like it's a better sound system. I don't know how true that is, but I just feel that way. I feel like the picture is better on the screen, despite the IMAX theater being an IMAX theater, you know? I just feel like it's a little dated now. But, yeah, I've seen a lot of stuff there, though. Oh. Minato Namikaze, thank you so much for coming in with the final super chat and channel support of the stream. New analysts state that the combined cost of streaming services is more expensive than cable, considering it isn't profitable should streaming die. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I remember in the early days we were cutting cable, and we were like, hell yeah, we're gonna save so much money. Hell yeah. But then, we ended up getting Hulu Live, which is, I don't know, like $80 fucking a month. And then, we have Netflix, Disney Plus, HBO, which is lumped in with our AT&T, but we don't pay for that. Just all the streaming, all the streaming, all the streaming services. Shit, St. Morris, are you on Twitter or Instagram? Shoot me a DM or something like that. I'm so curious, man. Yeah, Minato. I don't know what the another option would be. I have zero desire to pay for cable again, because I think it was still more expensive than what we're paying now. At least we have the option to kind of cut certain streaming services when we don't want to watch it, you know. Interesting. I don't know. Should it die? No, but there needs. I don't know, man. When you look at it, like, if we weren't paying for Hulu Live, then we would barely be spending anything on streaming services. Again, we have Netflix, we get HBO for free, and because of our cell phone, whatever, blah blah blah. So we really only have Netflix, HBO, and Disney Plus, and the only two that we pay for are Netflix and Disney Plus. So if we didn't have the Hulu Live, which I could do without it. My wife likes to watch some stuff on live TV, and it's nice for the kid, you know. I like her. I kind of like her watching more traditional scheduled TV than just picking and choosing, because there's something a little nostalgic about her watching a show and then a commercial cuts in and you see commercials for kids' toys, you know? It's kind of cool. Yeah. What was your buddy's name, Saint? I'm curious. Not, you don't have to do a last name. But all right, guys, I'm gonna hop off here. Let's see. What else we got going on? What is today? Sunday? Work. So I'll be working on a video Tuesday and Wednesday. I'm hoping to get a video out Tuesday and Wednesday. You know, with my kid back in school, I'll be able to kind of make more stuff. So maybe I'll try to do like the first back-to-back video in a very long time. But yeah, anyway. I appreciate it, guys. What else? That's it for me. I'll do a stream either Tuesday or Wednesday night, and you can keep an eye out for a video or two as well. But alright, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are on planet Earth. To everybody who supported the channel this evening, thank you so much. It survives because of you. Alright, guys. Take it easy. Be safe out there. I'll catch you on the flip side. See ya.